recognize our distinguished Senate President, Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri, to deliver the sponsorship speech. So move, Mr. President.
Our Senate President, Juan Miguel Zubiri, is recognized.
Maraming salamat sa ating Majority Floor Leader. Thank you, our presiding officer, Senate President, and to my colleagues. I stand here today to sponsor Senate Resolution number 302, creating a select oversight committee to keep a close eye on our government agencies' utilization of their allocated confidential and intelligence funds. I'd like to put on record that we've been doing this since the 10th Congress, and each Congress has had an oversight committee. It has been the tradition of the Senate to constitute a select oversight committee for these funds, and we must, in the 19th Congress, continue this tradition, especially as we are dealing with confidential intelligence funds amounting to 9.28 billion pesos for 2023. These funds are essential, and we need to empower our agencies to conduct necessary programs, operations, and activities for the safety and security of our people. This is especially true now as we are facing strange new challenges in these strange new times. Crime looks and moves differently than we are used to. Sometimes it creeps into vulnerable spaces like schools, where illegal drugs or child pornography can find root in. So in these times, we need to be more trusting of our government agencies as agencies at the forefront of these problems like child sexual abuse, illegal drugs, terrorism, and the like would know what appropriate programs, activities, and projects to undertake. We have to have faith that they would use every inch of diligence and discretion in undertaking surveillance and intelligence gathering in the discharge of their sacred mandates in keeping with their oaths. That said, it is also a responsibility to be vigilant over how these funds are in use, as they are not subject to the usual or regular auditing rules and procedures of the Commission on Audit as compared to other expense items in the budget. So it falls on us, on this proudly democratic independent Senate, to reactivate the Select Oversight Committee, where we can subject these confidential intelligence funds to checks and balances. We are cognizant of our own primordial role, power, and responsibility as holders of the power of the purse. We, the elected representatives of the people, must ensure that these funds are judiciously and rightly used. Judiciously, rather, and rightly used. Trust, or please trust, that we will do our jobs. The Senate will exercise the full extent of our oversight function, and we will monitor the use of these funds, and we will go over the reports relevant to each agency's use of the funds. And we will conduct hearings if necessary, Your Honor. Babantay tayo sa pondong ito, pera ito ng bayan, kaya bilang Senado ng bayan, sisiguraduhin natin na taong bayan rin ang makikinabang nito. With that, I hope to have your support, my dear colleagues, in constituting this committee for this 19th Congress. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Leader. Senator
Mr.
Pimentel.
President, I welcome this development in the Senate, but as stated by our Senate President, we have done this before. So let's continue the good practice. But then there's even a better practice, which is to discourage the allocation of lump sums, especially in the form of confidential and intelligence funds in the national budget.